Yo, what's going on, guys? Dragon Tamer Blade here, back with some more Elder Scrolls Legends, and today we have our December deck building video, which is kind of going to be in two parts, because I decided for this season, I kind of want to play with two decks, just so I can switch things back and forth a little bit. One I have already built, one I will be building with you guys on camera. So let's go through the one that's already been built. I named this one Item Heavy, just because I kind of wanted to go for an item heavy deck after that arena run. So I went two fiery imps just to have some early game presence, and the 2 damage to face whenever you attack is just a useful thing to have around. Plus it baits my opponent removing it with some early game cards, which kind of lets me get more into the middle of the range Magicka costs, which is where the deck really shines, I feel. Just one Greystone Ravager. I don't love this card because it's so easy to get rid of, but it looks nice golden, and if you can get it on a Prophecy, put it in the Shadow Lane, then you have an easy 4 damage. I just didn't want to put too many of these in here just because, like I said, they're so easy to get rid of. 2 Northwind Outposts. I was going to put a third one in here, but I feel if my hand were to get too clogged with these, if I were to happen to draw all 3 of them, it would not be a very good thing. Orc Clan Captain is a card. I've played a couple test matches with the deck. It's performed decently well on the lower ladder. Orc Clan Captain is one of the cards that I'm thinking about maybe replacing, just because I don't get quite enough creatures on the board usually to warrant spending the 2 Magicka on Orc Clan Captain when I'm getting Northwind Outpost basically for the same value. Although the Clan Captain does have a body attached to him, I feel like I could put a more useful card in here. Playing 3 Plunders. I know Plunder isn't always viewed as a great card, but more items the better for me. 3 Skilled Blacksmith, obviously, for the item cost reduction. I've had times where I've managed to get all 3 of these guys out on the field at the same time, and I was paying like 0 cost Mace of Encumbrance, which is crazy. 2 Battle Rage Orcs, the one pretty looking premium one, just for some charge, some removal. Also decent mid-cost creature. 2 Cast Outs, that's kind of my, oh crap, I let something big get on the board and I need to attack now, or I let something get set up with some items and I need to get those off the board. This is kind of my oh crap card because don't have a ton. I have some decent removal. Actually, I'm not playing any Firebolts, I realized, which I might want to change my mind about. But I got 3 Lightning Bolts, but I might want to add some Firebolts in here. 3 Morgul Gatekeepers, just as a Prophecy pull. In addition, it's a guard to let me keep getting my creatures kind of built up with the items. In addition, it also gives a +2 attack boost. So it kind of aids to, if I want to get that last second push for lethal, the 2 damage can definitely come in handy. 2 Rift and Pillagers. I'm thinking about crafting a third just because this card can come in handy with all the runes I'm breaking. But yeah, Rift and Pillagers is just a solid card. Rihad Battle Mage is kind of my defensive card. If I get like the Steel Scimitar on it, it winds up being a 4 cost 5/8 with guard, which is pretty awesome. Obviously this usually gets removed by Piercing Jab, Edict of Azure, whatever my opponent's playing that can remove a card like this. Usually he is the one that soaks up those finish offs and all that stuff. And if he doesn't get removed, then he is just solid defensive presence on the board, so it's kind of a win-win. Either he gets rid of all the removal for some of these bigger guys, or he stays and defends me while I kind of establish my board. Skaven Pyromancer, just I like the 3-drop card. Most of my creatures have more than 1 health, so if I'm playing against a weaker creatured aggro deck or something like that, I can really clear things out. It also brings things down to lightning bolt range and stuff like that. Stone Throw is usually not a super consistent removal card. Usually you're using it to remove like lower cost things, but with the sheer number of items in this deck, like if I throw an Orcish Warhammer or a Sentinel Battle Mace on something, if that thing survives a turn, even if my opponent has a huge creature out there, I can Stone Throw next turn and usually remove it. There was times where I forget what my opponent got out. I'm not really sure, but it was something with like 7 or 8 attacks, something like that, some very high attack number. I'm pretty sure it had an item equipped on it as well. But then I got to throw a couple items because of the blacksmiths, I got to throw a couple items onto something, and then bam, I'm removing an 8 attack card with my 3 cost spell. Worked pretty well. Alakir Survivalist. I don't like to build him up too much. I know he can really get some one-hit kill potential if I get enough items in my hand, which is what I kind of use him for. But again, he's also pretty good support bait. If I don't necessarily have the cards, I'll throw him out there and bluff that I have the cards to beef him up, and then my opponents will kind of go out of their way to get rid of him. 3 lightning bolts just for damage. Prophecy. Mundus Stone. It's just a decent card, especially if I can get Markarth Bannerman going. I only have 1 at the moment. I need to craft more, but if I can get this card going, there's a time where I think in one game I drew probably close to 10 Nord Firebrands from this Markarth Bannerman, and I had Mundus Stone out. So it's just like bam, lethal, bam, war, just constant keywords coming out on these 0-cost charges. So this card works pretty well with that, and then honestly it's just a decent card overall. A little RNG-ish, but definitely helps you out. Warhammer and Sentinel Mage just for the items. Blood Dragon is there because it can switch lanes, go through guards. It's kind of a good cleanup card. I'll throw it in a lane with no creatures in it and just have it pick off creatures in the opposite lane while I kind of establish a presence. Markarth Bannerman, self-explanatory. Burn and Pillage, another card that I probably need 2 more of, but I only have 1 at the moment, and I definitely want to include it because it's a fantastic card. Master of Arms, I don't really get to get him going that often, surprisingly. The one time, I've only drawn him once in all of my practice games, and at that point I hadn't had anybody die with items in the discard pile yet, so I think I only had 1 item in the discard pile, so I didn't really get to get good value out of him. Triumphant Jarl for the draw, because one of the downfalls of this deck is while I'm kind of pushing and pushing and pushing, I have a tendency to run out of cards, so this is one of the ways to get some card draw in, and I'm thinking if I get rid of Orc Clan Captain, I may put a Rapid Shot in there to get a little bit more cyclage going. Savage Ogre, while not the greatest cost per body, that +5 attack to give to a creature, as we saw in the arena run, and in my practice games I've seen it as well. When you're kind of borderline lethal and you put this card down, this can push you over the top to kind of get the lethal without having to risk rune breakage. And then Hrothgar Forge, I haven't even drawn this yet, so I can't tell you if it's even worth it, but it is a card, obviously, in an item deck. The more items that you can get equipped onto your characters, the better. I would like to see this thing get going, but again, I have not seen that go yet. So, let's go ahead and make another deck. The kind of thought process that I had going on for this deck was a blue-purple kind of rampish, part ramp, part prophecy deck. I know that sounds a little weird, but I was curious to see how it would work out. So we're going to go ahead and try it. We're going to go 3 Midnight Sweeps, a Mummify. I don't know if we want a Frostbite Spider, but Faroon Defender's not bad early on. And then 2 Cursed Specters. And then if we're going to be ramping, obviously we want 3 Hiss Groves, and we want, I think, 2 Tree Minders, and then I think I only have 1 Hiss Mage, yeah. Oh no, I can't. I don't want to play Scout. So Hiss Mage is not an option. What else? I wanted to go Strength, as you can see, for the Gortwog, but that's not an option at the moment. I could play Stormheld Champion. That's an option, actually. See, the better combo is definitely Scout. Like, Red Brahmin's awesome. I just got him recently. Thorn Hiss Mage is awesome. But I don't want to play Ram Scout just because it's so typical. I want to do something slightly different, even if I'm kind of doing the same mindset. I kind of want to play something slightly different. Let's throw Stormhelm Champion in there. And then we'll grab the Prophecies from blue. Go 2 Fate Weavers, 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Camelorn Sentinel, Wisdom of the Ancients, and 3 Shrieking Harpies. So how do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Max Magicka boost, which is decent. Now what else do I want to do here? This is kind of where I got mentally before I decided to keep building, so we'll move on from here together. What do I like? Well, if we're going to play like this, not Stormhelm Champion. Windkeep Spellsword, just a solid 2-drop. I almost feel like I should throw some Haunting Spirits in there, but I don't know about that yet. We'll kind of hold off on that one and see what happens. Lucian the Chance is decent. Venom Tongue's pretty good. I think we'll do 2 of those. Young Mammoth is just a fantastic card. Preserver of the Root is pretty good. Especially because I think we'll get to that Max Magicka. I only have 1 though, that sucks. Shadowfen Priest. I only have 1 of those as well, which sucks. What do we got? 34 cards. I only have 1 of these, but I will definitely throw my Blood Magic Lord in there. Nahagleave in there as well. Look at that Golden Swamp Leviathan. That's nice. What else do I want? Go Night Shadow for the drain. We're at 37 cards. Kind of want to put Necro in there. I think I will put Necro in there. At least 2 of them. Let's move through this deck as well. Let's put 2 Firebolts. How are we looking on curve? A lot of 3s and 4s, which is not bad. Don't have much draw at the moment. Which I don't know if it's the worst thing, but it would definitely be better to have some more draw. I could put a Telvanni Arcanist in there for more actions. One of the decks that I had been practicing, I guess while we're here I'll talk about it. I had made a Dress Tormentor Shackle deck, so I had 3 of these, 3 Shrieking Harpies, 3 Mace of Encumbrance, Winter's Grasp. I'm just trying to do as much Shackle as possible. The neutral Dwemer Shackle. And there's one other one. I think it was a green card. The Arrow to the Knee. And it was actually a pretty cool deck. The only problem was the entire, I guess, usefulness of the deck, its viability, relied on me drawing a Dress Tormentor and keeping it alive. So you have a 3 in 50 chance of your deck really working out well. So that didn't work out super great for me just because, like I said, when I did draw this thing and I got to play this plus a Winter's Grasp, it was incredibly satisfying to have happen. But, like I said, you can't guarantee that's going to happen. Maybe some Tome of Alterations to get some draw going. I think Dragon Priest wouldn't be so bad, especially if we're going to be trying to ramp. I have 2 Fate Weavers in already. I don't think I want another one. I could go Wamasu. I can go Stadium Headmaster to get myself some more cards. The only problem is I'd be giving my opponent more cards as well. We're 8 cards short at the moment. We are mostly purple. So I could maybe play Stalwart Ally. And I think I might just because it's a really solid 3-drop. 5 more cards remaining. Enchanted Plate. Dragontail Savior is pretty decent as a 2-drop. But I kind of want some more later presence. Or maybe a Deadly Draugr for some easier removal. It's a tough choice, though. Lucian the Chance kind of loses too much momentum to really risk playing him. We got the Stone-Tooth Scrapper as a decent body, but I don't think it does much else for us. Watch Commander's decent, but we don't have enough guard cards to really warrant playing that. Could put 1 Night Talon Lord in there for the drain, but I think it's kind of going to get removed like pretty quickly. Also, well, we don't have too much at the end of the deck, so I'll put 1 in there. So now we have 3 more cards remaining. I don't want to over Treeminder and put 3 in there, just because I think we have enough ramping at the moment, but maybe I'll put in another Venom Tongue. And then for my last 3 cards, I could just go Crushing Blow for removal. That's an option. I could go Goldbrand for some defense. I don't know if I'm willing to risk the Mundus Stone in this deck. I don't think it really fits. Let's go 2 Crushing Blows. And then... What neutral prophecy cards are there? The Adoring Fan, the Sparking Spider, the Portcullis, and the Lurking Crocodile. Lurking Crocodile is the only one out of this that I would not mind as a body itself. Like, Dark Harvester is way overcosted for what it does. Adoring Fan is trash. Spider Worker's trash. Sparking Spider's okay, but not that great. I could add another Faroon Defender in there. Could do another Camlorn Sentinel, considering it costs 2 less than Lurking Mummy for 2 less health. So we'll go 3rd Sentinel, and we will, instead of Sorcerer, we will name this Prophecy Ramp. I know my deck names aren't that creative, but I like to know what the overall plan is when I look at the deck. So that's going to be our number 2 deck for this season. So we're going to run Prophecy Ramp and Item Heavy. If you have any suggestions about either one of those decks, cards that you would change, I know I mentioned that I might change the Orc Clan Captain for a Rapid Shot in the Item Heavy deck, but like I said, either deck, if you have any suggestions on how to make it better, please do let me know. I'm still learning the whole deck building thing and trying to get better at that as I go, so any suggestion is definitely appreciated. But that's going to be it for now, guys. We'll take these 2 decks onto the ladder starting next episode, and we'll see how high we can get this season. Last season, we only got to rank 9, which we did get 1 Battle Reaver Dusk, but we want to set our sights a little bit higher this time, so hopefully we can do that this time around. And we're starting earlier than we did last time as well, which is a good thing. But that's going to be it for now, guys. As always, thank you all very, very much for watching. I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time for some laddering. Peace.